Excellent. Oh, I'm recording. Hi, middle-aged mama here. I'm going to be reading a few child-friendly scary stories. Before I start reading, I just want to remind everyone to follow me on all my social media and like and share and subscribe. And if you like hearing me read stuff, send me some stuff that you want to hear read because, as I've said before on my Twitter, I just like to talk and yeah, I'll just talk for you. I don't mind. Okay, and with that, for some reason, my audio isn't syncing up with my video. I don't know. Okay, I went back and tried to fix it, but I don't know if I did. Think I might have. Anyway, without further ado, I will read to you some stories. Oh, I also want to say that none of these stories are my own. These are all stories that I found on the internet, and I will link down below to the site that I found the stories at. I don't take credit for any of the stories. I'm just literally just reading them off my computer screen now. One evening, when I was in my junior year of high school, my mom and dad went out, leaving me home alone. I had a lot of homework to do, so I spent the whole evening sitting at my desk in my bedroom. My parents left the house around 6 p.m. While I was doing my homework, I put on my headphones and listened to loud music. There was a big storm that night, and my desk was facing the window, so I could see the rain and the lightning outside. My parents got back around 11 p.m. When I saw their car drive up, I took off the headphones. As soon as my mom opened the front door and came inside, I heard her shout my name. "What on earth happened in here?" she demanded in an angry voice. Confused, I ran downstairs. My mom was standing in the hallway with a furious look on her face. She pointed at the floor and yelled, "Was this you?" I looked down and saw the carpet was covered in muddy footprints. "I have no idea how it got there," I said. "I spent the whole night at my desk doing my homework." I watched as the look on her face changed from anger to confusion to fear. We both realized it at the same time. Someone else had been in the house. We followed the trail of footprints, trying to make sense of the whole situation. They started at the back door, which we usually left unlocked. Then we noticed something else. The footprints started at the back door, but there was no trail of footprints leaving through the back door. All of a sudden, we hear a loud, pounding noise that echoed throughout the house. Then, the sound of the front door being wrenched open and slammed shut again. We all ran into the garage and locked the door behind us. My mom took out her cell phone and called the police. "Please, come quickly!" she shouted. "Someone's in our house!" After what seemed like hours, a patrol car arrived with 2 police officers, a male and a female. One of the officers stayed with us in the garage while his partner went through the house, searching it room by room. When she came back, the female officer told us that there was no one in the house and it was safe to go back in. As we all breathed a sigh of relief, she said, "Whose bedroom is upstairs on the left?" My parents looked at me. "It's mine," I told the officer. She asked us to follow her. As we walked through the house, we could see the trail of muddy footprints leading from the back door, through the living room, through the hallway, up the stairs, into my parents' bedroom, and then towards my room. They stopped at my doorway. The female officer pointed at my door, which had been open the whole night. Scrawled on the back of it in black marker was the following: 8:47, I see you. 8:53, you forgot to lock the back door. 8:59, you seem focused. 9:24. Turn around. 9:47. Look at me. 10:15. Look at me. 10:37. Look at me. 10:49. Look at me. 2 hours, someone had been standing in my doorway, watching me. To this day, I shudder to think what would have happened if I had turned around. There was a young boy named Andrei who lived in a small village in Russia. He was a nervous child and was often afraid of one thing or another. He was quiet and spent most of his time listening to other people's conversations. In the village where he lived, he would often hear people talking about the big man. Behave yourself or the big man will take you away, he heard a mother say to her child. Go to bed or the big man will come and get you, said another parent. Don't go over there. That's where the big man lives, he overheard a father telling his daughter. Andrei began to wonder who this big man was and why kids needed to be afraid of him. One dark night, as Andrei lay sleeping in bed, he heard his bedroom door slowly creak open. There, in the doorway, stood the shadowy figure of a man. He was over 6 feet tall, and he had the ugliest face Andrei had ever seen. The big man was tall and fat. He had a scar down the side of his face, and one of his eyes was milky white. The big man silently walked over to Andrei's bed and leaned down. In a commanding tone, the big man said, "Get up!" Andrei replied in a trembling voice, "I will not get up." "Get up or I'll kill you," the big man threatened. Andrei got out of bed. "Get dressed," said the big man. I will not get dressed," replied Andrei. "Get dressed or I'll kill you." Andrei got dressed. "Now come with me," commanded the big man. I will not go with you," said Andrei. "Come with me or I'll kill you." Andrei followed the big man down the stairs and out the front door. There was a large black car parked outside. The big man grabbed Andrei by the scruff of his neck and tossed him into the back seat. Then he got in, started the engine, and drove off. They drove the streets of the little village and out into the countryside. The black car hurtled down the little country roads until they were in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, the big man pulled over to the side of the road and stopped. Andrei looked out the window and saw that they had stopped outside a cemetery. The big man grabbed Andrei, bundled him out of the car. He dragged the frightened boy down through the cemetery gates and down a narrow path until they came to a grave. The big man picked up a shovel and tossed it at Andrei's feet. "Dig up the grave," he growled. I will not dig up the grave," said Andrei. "Dig up the grave or I'll kill you." Andrei picked up the shovel and began digging. After almost an hour, he unearthed a coffin and stopped to regain his breath. "Take out the dead body," growled the big man. I will not," said Andrei. "Take it out or I'll kill you." Andrei opened the coffin and lifted out the dead body. It was the corpse of an old man, and his face was moldy and rotten. There were maggots crawling out of his mouth, his nose, and eye sockets. Now eat it, ordered the big man. I will not, said Andre. Eat it or I'll kill you! Andre shuddered and reluctantly began to eat the dead body. He started nibbling on the ear. Then he bit into the cheek. The taste made him gag. Suddenly, Andre felt someone grabbing him by the shoulders and shaking him. Andre, wake up, said his mother. That's the third mattress you've eaten.